silverlungs.com today.
Hi folks, this is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We're back live taking your phone calls. I want to play 10 minutes of a 20-something minute documentary. That guy's... print off that YouTube page. I want to plug. People can go watch it as well about what big government does to people. I mean, this is unbelievable. But again, you look at it, that's the path we're marching down. It's a system where people in North Korea didn't even know there was a world outside. And all they thought about was food, and they were totally dependent. They were kept in cages, and then they would put a man and woman together for 5 days just so they would have a baby to be a slave in the state. This is worse than 1984, and this is what collectivism becomes every time. So that's coming up. Let's go ahead and go back to Bobby. But I mean, Bobby, the reason I have to go after Beck is he's not misguided. He, in a calculated way, knows exactly what he's doing. And to him, it's a psychopathic victory over conservatives, who I believe he really hates, that he's leading them into hell.
I agree with you. But the thing about, but remember, when you talk about conservatives, you're talking about the type of Goldwater conservatives, the people that really want our country to succeed and to have, a freedom and to have financial success and not be led by corporations. And that's exactly what Glenn Beck is about. It's clear as day. And when you see a guy, or I don't know, whenever I talk to a fellow who, proclaims to be this high and mighty, I'm doing all this for God, and all he can talk about, well, let's just say the last thing he talks about is altruism and individuality. You're dealing with somebody who does nothing but follows a false god, probably Roger Ailes or Rupert Murdoch, just like you said. I mean, I don't know if you read Larry Klayman's book on whores, and there's certain areas in there that talk about Roger Ailes and what he's about. I tell you what, that group of people, if that's what our country, if we were to follow the Fox News network into that agenda, I don't know if it's any worse than the way Obama's going, because nobody's going to have it.
I want to be clear, though. I mean, this isn't me. News Corps with Rupert Murdoch put out a 6-minute video saying they are pushing propaganda and bragging that they brainwash people in all their sitcoms, dramas, and movies for a global carbon tax. Absolutely. I mean, I told people 5 years ago that Rupert Murdoch was funding Hillary Clinton, and they didn't believe it when it was even in the newspaper. I mean, I read his newspapers overseas. It's one message, and here it's another message. It's very calculating, very Machiavellian. It's all about betrayal, and I appreciate your call, Bobby. You made some great points. Again, and last night I woke up really not even upset. It was more than that. Just like, man, this is real. And I was like, God, what is it I'm supposed to do? And it was like, go after Glenn Beck. And because I hate talking about people. I don't like it. I mean, I don't even like making Obama the enemy or Bush the enemy. They're puppets. I don't like the personality. issues, because that almost feeds into it. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about him. My way of really disliking him is to not talk about it and try to ignore it and like, no, don't show me that. No. I mean, I'll see articles that we post sometimes because I don't control my writers. I know they've got good brains and they basically do most of the posting and ideas themselves. But I will, see some new horrible thing he did and I'll not want to look at it. See, that's the problem, folks. I've got all this stuff I read. I'm angry about each article. And I genuinely, once a month or so, I'll be driving down the road and I'll think about the country and the innocence and how the CPS is taking people's kids and raping them. And I'll start crying, and not a sobbing cry. I can't even control it. Just tears start running out. And then I see Beck on his TV set. He even shows people this so they'll know he's fake, and on putting stuff in his eyes that makes him cry and getting into the fakeness of what we really should be crying for this country. He is a counterfeit, folks. He makes me sick. And I just asked God, I said, how do I keep him from taking my work and turning it into something evil? I mean, I feel dirty because I haven't been sophisticated enough to see this coming beforehand. I'm going to do the best I can and let God take over from there. But we've all got to individually do what we can. I'll be right back. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
One major world crisis away from having a totalitarian type of system.
The main event is the wholesale destruction of the world economy.
The push for every nation on the globe to identify and number all of its citizens.
Friends, I hope that you will order Shadow Government from Infowars.com. We also have some specials where you can get some of our other films half price when you order Shadow Government. A new level in production quality and in information. It exposes how a cashless society, surveillance, beast grid of total control is being put into place. This film needs to be seen. Everybody needs to get it. So order yours today. Show it to your friends, your family, your church, your neighbors, your boss, your employees. Shadow Government, ladies and gentlemen. Get your copy at Infowars.com today. Shadow Government. It gives Big Brother a black eye. Available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
America is in deep, deep trouble because we don't know our rights. Let's get real freedom back into America by teaching and promoting the Bill of Rights with the 2010 Freedom Calendar. Why? Because our forefathers gave them to us. Because the Freedom Calendar is true patriotism in action. And because if you don't know your rights and use them, you may lose them. The Freedom Calendar is the best educational tool in over 200 years. It shows in detail how to use your rights, how to answer any bureaucrat, how to use your guaranteed rights for true freedom. The Freedom Calendar is the easy way to learn the proper use and function of each of our rights and is perfect for homeschoolers, business promotions, and fundraisers. Order your Freedom Calendar now for just $15, and discounts are available for bulk orders. Call 651-771-5234. Again, 651-771-5234. The Freedom Calendar. Know your rights or lose them. Order now while supplies last. Call 651-771-5234 today.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I didn't want to go on air and say 9/11 was an inside job on 9/11 8 years ago. I didn't want, when Obama was like the second coming of Christ, to come out against him. I had to. And I'll tell you, every time I force myself to go with my conscience and the evidence,